So what we have here are three of my very best friends. Buddy Hackett, Dolores, the lady of the group, and Mac, my zombie apocalypse survival knife. This is Buddy Hackett. He's a man's man. He's built for rough and tumble. Note the all-steel construction. Note the soft steel edge with all the dings in it, because he's got his battle scars. He's taken his abuse and he's taken it all in stride. Buddy is best when you need chopping, or splitting, and you don't want too much trouble when it comes to cleaning them up. An old broken grinding stone, all it takes. Got a little ding here. Just grind it out. And put the shine back on that edge. Now the only thing I really don't like about my Boro buddy here is the bevel. See the line showing the bevel here? No line showing no bevel here. It's only beveled on one side. They do that here for some reason with their machetes. They're, cheap and effective and nice and solid and heavy, but they only bevel it on one side. Let me tell you, that makes learning how to use it pretty squirrely. Because you'll come in with a chop, and you think it's going to go straight, and then it suddenly goes zoom. Now this knife, whoops, is Dolores, and she's built like a lady. Notice the luxurious curves, the artistry, the subtle bow, everything right where it's supposed to be. Oh, I guess the meds haven't quite fully kicked in yet. Don't worry. Anyway, yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, Dolores. Okay, now, like a lady, she's also very, very slender. And when she needs to be, she can be, hear that? Very hard. This makes her totally unsuitable for the kind of work that Buddy's best at. But then that's natural, isn't it? It's just nature. A man, a woman. Rough and tumble. Sleek and refined. Just the way it should be. Now, this one, being so hard, keeps an edge very well. But, being hard, she's also brittle. And if you're trying to chop down even, something like a thick tree, you're going to bust this edge. And then you'll be crying. So, I save this one primarily for kitchen duty. When I need to cut, say, a watermelon into pieces, or the neighbor lady who's handicapped wants me to chop up her pork. And believe me, they do use pork skin around here, and that's pretty tough stuff. Dolores is the one. My go-to knife for that. And then last, and certainly not least, is Mac the knife, my zombie apocalypse survival blade. This was actually custom made for me by a local craftsman named, believe it or not, Mac Mac. Around here they tend to double up the name, Nick Nick, Bone Bone, or in this case, Mac Mac. When you double a word, it tends to exemplify the word. For instance, sorry means an assortment, whereas sorry means variety. See how it exemplifies the word, makes it bigger? So they do that with their names too. So anyway, here's Mac the knife, made by Mac, who is just a craftsman, not an actual knife maker. This knife was made to my specifications, kinda. I mean, considering it was free, that's, what can you expect, right? Good, solid, heavy hunk of steel with a solid hammer on the back. Ow! See? He was a little curious why I didn't want anything on here. I told him I was going to do a cord wrap, which he'd never heard of. Well, I did it. And note, I did it in tactical pink. Why pink? 2 reasons. Number 1, pink is actually a surprisingly tactical color. See, if you've got a knife that's cord wrapped in pink, people are going to think, hey, this guy's not serious. He's got a pink knife. That's when you betray that sense of superiority. Number 2, pink is the only color I had, so I had to use it. I didn't have a choice. I would have preferred black, but I didn't have it. Well, another thing he didn't really understand was why I wanted a lanyard on it. But then I showed him, hey, look, you stab a zombie in the neck, right? Oops. There you go. That's why the lanyard. Okay, cool. He's happy with that. This is, by the way, not stainless steel. I have to oil it every once in a while. It looks like it's getting a little rust on the hammer end here. Places where it comes into contact with the sheath I made do tend to lose their oil quickly and need to be re-oiled. Also, I had, look closely, you'll see there's some jimping on here. Give me extra control while I'm, say, making featherwood or something. What I'm especially pleased with is the sheath, because while he made the knife, I made the sheath. And again, I made it to order for me. Now, first off, it had to be able to hold, well, actually, first off, it had to be on budget. And remember, I've got a budget of nothing. That's tough to meet. Well, fortunately, I've got a habit of picking up old school day packs that kids have just torn the crap out of. They're good at that, aren't they? You parents know. But the straps are usually still pretty good. So I take that and whatever else I can manage. Sometimes I can pull zippers off of them, especially if an adult had it and not a kid. Okay? And I put it around the knife. Then I realized, hey, wait a minute. The knife does have a certain thickness to it, the metal. So I took some cord that I had, and instead of just stitching, folding the material over and stitching it, I stuck that cord in there to give it that little gap, and it fits very nicely now. There's that little gap right in there. It's just enough to take the knife without slicing up my stitching. I had a sheath once, in fact I think it was for Dolores, where the stitching got all sliced up because that's the way they did it. They didn't put that gap in there. So I learned from their mistake. Actually, I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was just because they were cheap. Then I decided, well, it's got a belt loop on it. I need a belt. I did not have enough material for a belt. So I thought back to when I used to go scuba diving with my father, and you put it on your calf. So the belt is for a calf. And there's the ties to strap it to your ankle. I found that it did wiggle around a little bit when I would walk first. So I put another little piece of Velcro to hold it in place. The whole system now works very nicely. Of course, I'm never happy with that. This is supposed to be a zombie apocalypse survival knife. I need survival equipment. So I put this pocket on the front. Made from old belts. And this was from a raincoat somebody abandoned. So, what's in it? I'll show you. Straws. Now around here they've got what they call sago shakes. Sago is kind of like tapioca pearls, but it's like giant size. And for some reason they like to make them black. Okay, fine. That's all right. This pocket is big enough to hold 3 straws from these sago shakes. So, I've got 3 color-coded straws in here. The first one, which is blue, contains about a 1.5 meters plastic cord. Just enough to lash together 3 sticks to make a hasty shelter, or at least the basis for a shelter. The other 2, if I can get them out, it's kind of tight. Color-coded red. Red for fire. 2 fire starting kits in here. We got matches, striker, and I believe this one has wax impregnated sawdust. Old candles, old crayons, things like that. But you know, one of the things that always bugged me about knife sheaths is how they don't go straight. They always go this way with the handle, and then once they get past the handle, they go yoop, and then down to follow the blade. What about this piece right here? Why don't you put something there? Seems like a perfect place to be putting a little bit of additional survival equipment. So that's what I did. See the zipper? Clever. Always got to find one more place to put that little bit more stuff. I'm not going to open it because the zipper is secured with the ankle lash. But inside, I've got, are you ready for this? First off, I got a coarse sharpening stone. Because if it's a survival situation, I got to have a survival sharpening stone. And I don't care if it's coarse or anything, so long as I can keep my knife sharp. Okay? Next to it, I've got a straw, a regular size straw, with a 50 peso bill wrapped up inside it. So I got a little bit of money. Not much, but it's better than nothing. And that's the whole point, isn't it? Now, up this way, I've got 2 more compartments, both made out of straws. One is blue again, and it's got a small sewing kit in it. The other one, and it's all sealed up so that moisture can't get in, and you know, rust in my needles and things. The other one is black, and it's got a small fishing kit in it. Hook, line, sinker, all put together. You can get the whole darn thing for 10 pesos.